Game 6.
Thanks,
You're welcome. The question coming in, will AD be ready to go? Still dealing with that groin strain he suffered in Game 4. Oh, just a little bit on the line here. I don't know, like maybe the King being on the brink of his first round exit ever, and Nick being on the brink of having to live with that. For the love of our show, AD, let's go. Here was the brow yesterday on his health ahead of tonight.
And hopefully, all the rehab and treatment that I'm doing, pays off, and the doctors clear me to go tomorrow. That's what we want. So, like I said, getting more treatment tonight, tomorrow, and kind of talk to the doctors before a game, before and after our shoot, and hopefully everything comes back good where they clear me. So that's what we would hoping for.
All right, Chris Broussard's back with us now. I'm going to keep it simple, Broussard. Game 6, Lakers Suns tonight. Who you got?
Well, Jenna, that video of AD moving on the sidelines didn't give me hope. I'll tell you that much. And I didn't like AD in his press conference talking about if the doctors clear me. Hopefully the doctors clear me. He put a lot on the doctors. We had a doctor on my radio show, The Odd Couple, last night, and former NBA player. And they both said in a situation like this with the groin, a lot of times the doctor's going to ask you, how you feeling? Are you, you think you can go? Because it's that, it's not like you got a torn ligament or something like that where the doctor's just like, you can't play. And so I almost feel like AD was almost getting a scapegoat. Like, if I don't play, don't blame me. Don't say I'm not a warrior. Don't say, oh, that's typical AD. He's never healthy. So I'm just reading into that, but I think there's some truth there. Look, you guys are right. Brandon, Nick, I picked the Lakers to get out of the West before the playoffs started. But it always was contingent on LeBron and Anthony Davis being healthy. I'm not going to destroy Nick if Philadelphia doesn't get out of the East and Joel Embiid's out the rest of the playoffs. I mean, I won't destroy him that much. I'll use that in the equation, all right? I'll factor that in. But with injuries, all bets are off. So I think tonight the Suns close out the Lakers. I don't necessarily expect Anthony Davis to play. So without Anthony Davis, I definitely think Phoenix beats them. With Anthony Davis, even if he plays, I just don't think he's going to be able to be effective because obviously the groin is a problem. But remember, before he injured his groin, he was dealing with the knee injury. And he was questionable for Game 4. And he wasn't effective before the groin injury. He was 2 for 9, 6 points in 19 minutes. So even if AD can play, I don't think he'll be able to be very effective, and I don't think he'll play long. And I think at this point in his career, I don't think LeBron can just carry a bunch of role players, some of whom aren't even playing well, like Dennis Schroeder, who gives him a goose egg. I don't think he can carry them over a team where 3 of the 4 best players without AD are on the other team.
Chris, I'm absolutely going to destroy you. All right? I hear what you're saying. If Philly doesn't make it out,
so
you're not going to crush Nick. No. Let me tell you why I'm going to destroy you. Because all year I've been saying you can't count on AD. Right before this series started, I said I'm going with the Suns because you can't count on AD. You chose to go out there and pick these boys. You chose to believe in AD. He's been unhealthy all year. He's been inconsistent all year. So, yes, I'm absolutely going to destroy you. I'm going to destroy Nick and anybody else who went out there and picked this team. They weren't a great team down the stretch. We know that. So who wins tonight? The Suns win because you don't have AD, and then you have LeBron. I do think LeBron James is going to be on fire. I do think he's going to play big. But this Suns team, they're young, they're fiery, and they're hungry. They want to get it done. They're a good team. There's a reason why they're the number 2 seed headed into this playoffs, Nick. So I'm going with the Suns, of course, to close out this series.
Brandon, when you're going through the list of people to destroy for picking the Lakers to beat the Suns, make sure you include Brandon Marshall from Monday morning. because once the Suns dealt with an injury, you also picked the Lakers. Once the Suns dealt with an injury, the series ended in midway through the second. No, that happened. It happened, Brandon. You're not going to say Broussard is allowed to say anything about Anthony Davis. We all were here for it.
I said it's going to be damn near impossible. I left a little bit out.
Brandon, you gave us the second the series ended with 9 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter of game one. The Lakers won the, So just make sure you include yourself on the list. Luckily, though, Brandon, you're not going to have to destroy any of us because the Lakers are going to win tonight. And that obviously, Wilds, is actually bad news for me. The Lakers winning tonight, because I'm not a Lakers fan, I'm a LeBron fan. And winning tonight is the worst thing that can happen to LeBron. Because what do we know? We know that first round exits don't count against you, but finals losses do. So by winning tonight, you're still eligible for a finals loss. So that's no good. And we also know that being the greatest player ever is not actually about being the greatest player ever. It's who is the most similar to Jordan. And one place that Jordan has LeBron just cooked is first-round losses. He's got 3 of them. LeBron's got none. So by winning tonight, LeBron's not going to have the opportunity to get to 1. And it's like, well, if I do it 2 more times, then I've equaled Michael. But the Lakers aren't going to lose. This is very simple. Here's when series are at 3-2 Wilds, there's 3 questions you should ask yourself. And if the answer to all 3 is the same, then picking the series is very simple. And if there's some divergence, then you got to think on it. First question is, who's up in the series? Second question is, who is the home team in Game 6? And the third question is, who do you trust more in Game 7? So, for example, Clippers-Mavs. The Mavs are the answer for all 3. The Mavs are up in the series. The Mavs are home in Game 6. And at least for me, the Mavs are the team you trust more in Game 7. That is a very easy series to pick. Denver, Portland, a little more complicated, right? Denver's up in the series, but Portland's the home team in Game 6. And who do you trust more in Game 7? I don't know. We've seen both these teams win a Game 7. We saw Portland win a Game 7 in Denver. We saw Denver win a couple Game 7s last year, so it's a bit of a coin flip. This series, who's up in the series? Phoenix. Who's at home in Game 6? The Lakers. Who do you trust more in a Game 7? Well, that is obvious, the team with LeBron. And being down 3-2 Wilds, historically, is really, really bad for every team, except for teams with LeBron James on them. And we can show you those numbers over the last decade just real quick, and then I'll throw it to you, Wilds. Can we show that full screen? Over the last decade, 8-1, down 3-2 in the playoffs. They've won 4 of those series. The one he didn't win was the 2015 finals, where his second best player was Mozgov. He scored 30 points in every single one of those games, Wilds, except for one. The one where he didn't score 30 was a Game 7 of the finals, where he had a triple-double and the greatest defensive play in the history of the league to beat the 73-win Warriors. So I'm going to go with LeBron tonight, Wilds. And then we have a Game 7, which means, let's be honest, both teams are facing elimination tonight. The Lakers are facing elimination, and the Suns are facing elimination, because you can't beat LeBron in the Game 7.
Okay. A quick question for you, buddy. When you were sort of laying out that argument, were you trying to convince me, Brandon, Jenna, and Broussard, and all of America? Or were you trying to convince yourself? Because as soon as you start talking about Jordan legacy and first-round exits, I get a little, I'm like, uh-oh, Nick is nervous. Because sometimes we ask, is Nick nervous about blank? And he's like, I'm never nervous. And to the point where in the morning meetings, we're like, you know what? Stop asking the question, because